Hi, I'm Julian from the Stimulus Reflex core team. Over the last months, I have been silently building the foundation of my new productized service, reactive Rails reviews. The idea is that it will provide a semi-automated environment to take in Turbo and CableReady powered Rails apps and allow to review them and offer advice efficiently. A sandbox will spin up the app and perform some analysis and linting processes, essentially spitting out offenses for a reviewer to further assess. As I'm building this service with the exact tools that are at the center of attention here, I thought it would be cool to assemble some short videos of how I used them to craft this very tool. Today, we will look at the reviewer experience when commenting on a sandbox offense. Essentially, this entails a markdown editor a la GitHub, which provides a preview as the type. Notably, we will make sure that only authorized users can edit such a comment, but the customer, for example, cannot. For this, I took some inspiration from the excellent server-rendered live previews example by Thoughtbot, but added my own reactive sprinkles to it. We start with a simple tabbed editor that offers writing in the first and previewing in the second tab. As it stands, it's only a text area that doesn't do any persisting. The structure of the markup looks like this. We render a collection of comments in an edit view. In the collection partial, we lazy load a turbo frame, which will request either the edit or the show route based on authorization level determined by Pundit. If the user is a reviewer, the edit route is loaded, wrapping the comment itself in a form. In the comment partial, we instantiate a view component wrapping the previewing functionality, a previewable markdown area component, and pass in the comment, the form, and which attribute we are editing. Essentially, we're looking on this white box featuring a write and preview tab. The tabbing functionality is provided by a stimulus controller, nothing fancy here. In the preview tab, we are using cramdown to render the preview from markdown. Now, let's start building out that automatic preview functionality. We'll use the text area's input event to save intermittently. First, we have a stimulus form controller with a request preview method that essentially submits the form data via a request.js patch call. I deviated from the Thoughtbot approach here, which includes an invisible preview button to streamline the Rails controller action a bit. Connect this to our form element here, then add a data action to the text area, requesting the preview. Note that we are using Nate Hopkins' excellent debounced library to debounce this event with a single event prefix. Pay attention to what's happening in the network tab. The patch request is dispatched and returns a 204 no content response. In the request header, we can assert that indeed we expect a TurboStream response by inspecting the accept header. The payload includes the changed comment body, so it looks like our client-side logic is correct. If we switch to the preview tab, the content hasn't changed though. We will look at how to enable automatic previews in a second. Here's an interesting little tidbit. In our component, we check if our form actually behaves like a Rails form. If it doesn't, the interactive parts will not render, leaving just the preview. Thus, we can accommodate for the unauthorized case very cleanly. Remember, back in our lazy loaded turbo frame, we requested the edit route, passing in the form like this. In the show route though, we simply pass in nil. Of course, we will still need to use Pundit to authorize our comment on the controller level, but this makes for a very simple method to choose a code path without using a conditional in the main view. If we open the browser in an anonymous window, we will see that indeed a normal user cannot edit the comment. Now what about our actual functionality? Let's remove foo here. Some fetches indeed seem to occur here, and if we reload the page, our edit indeed was persisted. Hooray! That still doesn't count as a live preview though. And here is where CableReady Updatable comes in handy to make this work without having to use turbo streams. For starters, let's wrap the preview tab in an updates for helper. That's essentially setting up an Action Cable subscription for precisely this comment and nothing else. Everything that's enclosed in this helper will be automatically morphed when the comment is updated. We can further scope this by providing only attribute to ignore all other updates to the model. Now we need to engage this functionality in our model. Here's a short aside. We are actually dealing with single table inheritance here, where comment is a subclass of content element. So in this model, we call the class method enable updates and specify which CRUD actions to scope it to. In our case, update. Note that it is necessary to include CableReady Updatable, which I have done in application record. And that's it. That's everything necessary. The comments controller's update action can actually return a 204 no content response, since everything inside the updates for tag will be updated automatically. Now let's try typing something more meaningful here to show that we are really able to write Markdown. Voila!